I guess it's weird.
I'm gonna run the live myself. Have no idea what I'm doing.
This has a whole conversation about the books he read this week and then leaves.
Exactly. All
Oh,
five issues
yeah,
of
the
Temporal.
Imam Balani thing. The Imam Balani. That was the thing I want to talk about. Did you hear
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
weren't we gonna talk about the boys? That was another one.
Oh yeah, we can talk about the boys ending. That's right. That'll fill the ending of the thing. Let me pull. I'm about to craft the craziest thing real quick. I'm about to make the craziest looking thumbnail real quick. It's gonna be dope. Choo, choo, choo. Now, if only I could. Oh, wait. Is that the? Oh, I don't want to steal somebody's picture. I kind of want to like get this shot of Homelander on his knees just for just for the hell of it.
God, that
You want me
that
to
end
suck your
part.
dick? You want me to suck your
Like
dick?
that
I'm like, bro,
part,
this
I
is
was just
funny
like,
as hell.
yes, yeah. And here's the thing: is I didn't get to finish that until I got to work this morning, and so I'm
Mhm.
listening to that in my headphones, trying not to just break out laughing because I'm doing the like audio description and all that other jazz, and I'm like,
Gotcha.
this is fucking hilarious. This is fucking hilarious.
There was a lot of people that like had issue with the ending, and like the ending by no means is perfect. I'll be 100% honest with you, and we'll get into it. But it's one of those things of like I feel like people were expecting too much out of this, and it was just like ugh.
I
Um,
I mean, like, could be worse, could be bad, could be worse, could
right.
be better, you know.
Hmm. Okay. So we'll grab that, and we'll just grab
My ad
where.
thing did not like that Marvel shakeup thing.
Yeah, man, this static drama has had me like in a fucking just frustrated mood, bro.
Honestly, I couldn't. I can't wait to talk about that one because as soon as I saw that one this morning after the news I saw last night, which, by the way, every single time I go camping, there seems to be an incident with the president and firearms, and it just
Wait,
convinced me
hold
I
on.
need to go
I woke
camping
up
more.
late. What happened? What happened with the president? I'm so confused.
So with this one, I guess somebody like didn't run into the White House, but tried to go through like Secret Service or something like that, and then fired a shot at Secret Service, and then Secret Service fired back, and then a civilian was hit as well. So that's like the basic news that I got from it. And by that point, I'm like, I need to go to work. I'm gonna try to enjoy the day and read comic books because the world just gets getting crazier and crazier every time I open an app.
That's a great way to put that. Yeah, no, that sounds nutty.
I was talking to my grandpa too, and I was like, we keep being in unprecedented times, and I would like there to be a time that's been precedented so we at least know how to handle it. But I guess
Right?
it's never gonna
Can we have
happen.
precedent times for a little bit? It'd be nice to
Like for the
have
next two
precedent.
years, some presidents. Wait, what? Oh,
There is what we like, not the blind side you that way you're not blind side. What we are going to talk about when it comes to Amon is the fact that there were some indie creators who were kind of frustrated by the fact that multiple celebrities keep writing comic books and it doesn't leave any room for like normal people to write comic books. And I'm like I see what you're saying, but like I don't. No, I'm fine. Like I don't really care. Like that felt kind of a reach, like out of just like frustration. So like I'm good, fam. Thanks though.
as long as these celebrities are paying the people that they're hiring to write these characters and they're putting
Right?
in the time of
Yeah.
work and everything like that, I have nothing to say about it. Because if somebody picks up a comic book, whether it's DC, Marvel, or Independence, and then it leads them to other comic books. That's the whole point of it. Even if there's a Post Malone fan that's out there that likes the big rig adventures and then eventually
Right.
finds Transformers because of it, because there's cars and vehicles that have to do in between, cool with me. I ain't gonna fight it.
Exactly. I feel like that was kind of my thing too, where I was just like I'm sitting here watching some like because it was like more than one person, so I added it to my docket, and I'm like, see, I feel like a lot of y'all just be hating for no reason, and like I understand the concern and the frustration behind it, but it's like why are you worried about them when you should be worried about how you're gonna get into the industry, how you're gonna get a following, things of that nature. Like it's not as if they're taking food like Amon Villani herself is taking food out your mouth. It's you like being a little bit jealous and venting. I get it, but it's like, come on.
But isn't she also like a huge comic book fan though?
Exactly.
But that's like saying, I hate to phrase it this way, but like that's like saying if I were to come out and then start writing a comic and they'd be like, oh, these podcasters need to stop writing comic books. And it's like,
right.
But like this is what I do, you know? Like
okay, there's those.
She's Marvel. She's Miss Marvel.
I think that's the fastest I've ever put together a thumbnail for a show.
Honestly, it's a fucking great thumbnail too.
Okay, let me grab content live. We are live right now. No, it's not made for kids. I don't know why I have to specify that every time I go live. It's so annoying.
I have to do that for every post I do on YouTube, and I'm like, I understand my stuff is video game and comics, but none of this will ever be advertised for kids. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to have that. It's already bad enough on TikTok whenever I have to like double check to see who's comic book creating, and then I see that like it's 17, and I'm like, all right, kid, I'll see you in a couple more years whenever you get a little bit older.
Okay, that is up. It's been updated. That way, people actually should be able to look in chat now. If you are in chat, there's like one person in chat. I need to make a post.
I'm in host chat. That's why I'm not seeing nothing. Public chat. There we go.
My phone has been blowing up the whole time I was at the fucking theater.
Chaboo. All right. Comic Geeks, where are you for that one? Chachu.
Okay. Let me grab this. Put this over here so I can use it.
Oh dang! Ha! I did put this on my pull list too, as I was waiting for you to go live today. That's funny.
What?
The Chachu thing. I didn't even see it was written by her. I was like, oh, this just looks interesting. I like the cover.
Yeah, they announced that she's like doing her own thing, and like this isn't the first time she's written something. She wanted to write a comic book while she was working on Marvel stuff, and they let her write the whole Kamala transitioning to being a mutant thing. So like this isn't her first time writing. So it's like I don't know why people are getting so uppity. I started this world with you guys. 47.
Before you go live, I'm gonna grab one more soda.
Have fun.
Well, I guess
like we are live, but like before we get into shit. Everyone.
I was apologizing to Susan for scaring him off. No, I'm cut down There we go. Whole series.
Right, that's up and moving. That's great.
I'll grab that too. I put it next to the Cobalt Shuffle, so I thought you would have seen
it. Okay, that's up. That's moving. So yeah, but you know, like in terms of the Mandalorian Grogu, that shit, like it was dope. It just like I don't see myself watching it again, if that makes sense. Like I don't see myself going out of my way to watch it. So it's what it is.
Unfortunately, it's going to end up being all this Star Wars stuff that I do, and I wait until it hits Disney Plus, and I use my sister's account.
Oh, where's the source on this? Like, I need to find a source on this because I don't want to talk about this before I go in, because if I'm speaking out of turn, I'm feel really mad. Source. there's a rumor floating around Twitter that John Layman, before he left the team of the Titans book, post DCKO, he was gonna bring Bumblebee and Mal Duncan back to form a second Titans team, but DC axed the plan and switched over to take Bromble as the main writer. And I'm like, oh, I have thoughts, but I don't. I need to confirm it's real before I pop off.
I want a Bumblebee. Like still, it's gonna end up being the same thing that I still feel with like the static stuff. If that's true or whatever, but it's like still kind of in the idea. Like, thanks for the Bumblebee. Could have had more. I'll still say thank you though for my little scraps that I get.
Well, and not only that, like this year is Mal and Karen's 50th anniversary, so like DC hasn't announced or is doing a single thing for them. Like, because they were they were technically the first Black superheroes at DC. It's just Jefferson was the first one to get his own comic book. So like, and Jefferson is next year, so it's like in January. So it's like, huh, where you got any plans, guys? What's going on, guys? Like,
it's getting scary. Time crunches. I know some people work better under pressure, but it doesn't seem like companies do.
Apparently. Let me. I don't know why, but like ever since I started like being friends with like more comic creators on Facebook, more people keep friending me on Facebook, and I'm like, brother, I don't know you.
I just review comics. I'm not here for that stuff.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with it. Like some of my favorite comic creators are friends with me on Facebook now, but I'm also just like, I don't know some of y'all motherfuckers. Like, who are you?
I think I had one person ask me if they wanted to add me on Facebook when I first started doing TikTok, and I like had a double take and be like, is that, I guess that's a thing, cross communicating on different apps. Just feels weird. Keep it all on one app for me.
Yeah, and like not only that, there was a few people who like reached out to me and were trying to like follow my personal Instagram, like not my content creator Instagram. And granted, I hardly ever use that one, but it was also just like, how did you find that? Was it like a people made, like you may know tab or something? Like, where'd you get that from?
Instagram's scary because there's times that I'll like type in my girlfriend's name and it's like, bam, perfect selection. I have found her easily. And then other times it's like, here's every other person with her name that you can find around the world. And it's like,
oh Lord,
this feels wrong.
This feels wrong.
I don't need to know about like 20,000 other different people who have the same name.
This drama with Destiny has just been pissing me off all week, bro.
Wait, Destiny, the video game? What's going on with that?
So Bungie announced that they are not going to be continuing the game. It is going to be just put on like what servers are staying on. June 9th is the last update, even though like they just started a new saga last year and they're just like, it's done, we're not doing nothing else. And it's like, why didn't you do this a year ago after you finished a 10-year saga, Bungie? So a lot of people are really annoyed by the situation right now.
So it's basically the start of a saga and then they're finishing it there.
Oh no, like it's just not gonna end. Like they're gonna have to, it just doesn't have like an ending. It's just like they're pulling all development out of the game.
Unless they're gonna make another game that continues on, that feels confusing to me. That feels just confusing to me.
He understands. I'm glad you understand, sir.
I'm not even that big into Destiny, and that just seems like a very stupid financial move, in my opinion.
Well, it's because there's so many issues with the game right now, and people have been frustrated about what Bungie has been doing. So, like a lot of people are just kind of like, we're good, but thanks, Bungie. Like it's kind of the situation right now.
But like this feels like I don't want to say the third, but it feels like this is multiple times they've like tripped over their feet in the past like few months or so when it comes down to developing this, not developing, but releasing more content for this game and how they've handled it, you know?
Right. Okay, let me get this set up here.
Next week looks bare on my pull list.
Bruh, no, like honestly, I think a lot more people need to start doing that. Like genuinely, I think more people need to understand like it's okay that your pull list don't got a million books on it. Like it's more like what is it? 27th is the next week. Like I have Exquisite Corpses, and we'll be doing a roundup of that in the next week. What is it? I think that's all I have is Exquisite Corpses. I don't have anything else coming up. Like
I've
genuinely,
got the Berserker. I got that Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre, and then while I was waiting for you, I found this one that was like Life and Death of Lucas Dreamwalker. Because I'm doing a whole comic book thing for my grandpa because he loves westerns, and so I want to do like a little series for him, even if it doesn't become big. Just be like, here's 5 issues for you to read, Grandpa.
There you go. Let's see. There's like nothing else coming out that I'm really worried about. I might pick up Corpse Night because like Corpse Night #2 comes out and the reprint comes out. But like other than that, I have nothing that I'm really worried about. Like there's just there was also one other book.
I saw that Planet Atmos one, but I'm still
so I was really excited about that, but then I found out it's a tie-in to a video game, so I was kind of like that kind of like took the wind out of my sail. I was like, that looks super exciting, but now I'm kind of like, nah, I'm good. Thanks though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did you
just kind of sucks because you know you're not going to get any more content.
Right. Or or they'll pull a Assassin's Creed and put stuff like in the comic book that never gets brought up in the video games type thing, and it's just like not a good time. Did you sign up for the Exquisite Corpses trading card game Kickstarter?
I did not see that. Where was that?
All over Instagram the past like month and a half, or like the past 2 weeks.
Let me go look at that real quickly.
I got you. I'll drop it in the chat. Because I looked at my pull list and I had the trading card variant and the cover A, so I was like, let me ask him if he got that or not. Let me drop this. I was the guy who did the $90 collection, and they've like triple funded this thing by now. Like they're at 180,000 when the goal was 50,000. Like we're getting, and they started announcing like whatchamacallit
21 days ago.
Right, like they started announcing stretch goals, and I'm like, see, that's good shit right there. So I'm excited.
I love to see that though. That is so nice.
I did the 13 Families edition because it just looked so good.
There was something else that I saw that I put on my pull list that came from James Tynion that's coming out like next month.
Odin came out last week. It was from him and Marguerite Bennett.
I've been seeing that. Comics Geek has been pushing that one like big time, so I might be going into the store this week and getting issue 1 if it's still there.
I might change my thing to the $170 bundle by the end of the week because that way I have a regular package and a 13 Families package. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah,
you get my pledge. Ooh, with a gold foil cover.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
DC, I cut my funding. That $90 is going to save us real quick.
This is what I've been trying to tell people is that all you need to do is, since we're doing phase 2, is just like you could go spend money on other things. You ain't gotta worry about that motherfucker.
The other thing too is to where like I'm getting Toshi's oh my god, I was gonna say compendium.
Brother, you know that's Tashi, right? Like you keep saying Toshi.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I keep saying Toshi. Tashi, there we go. Tashi's like compendium, not compendium.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Omnibus, there we go. Omnibus like coming out. And I was like, I love the whole like payment thing, and I'm like, this works out perfect because it's like paying for my comic books once a month at that point, you know? And I could do this easy online. Makes it so easy. Kickstarters are amazing.
They're great. I love them to death. I did a payment plan for Stranger Comics' Tales of the Sundatome, and that was the best thing I could have possibly did for myself.
$10,000 historic deck.
See, that was too much. And you know what really got me hot, B, is when you go to the optional rewards tab after you pick your pledge. There's a thing where you can get a collection of CGC like sealed like 9.8 trading cards like for like extra $100 and some dollars, and I was like, that don't sound half bad. But then I was like, nope, I ain't doing it because like what am I gonna do with that besides put it on a shelf? Like I ain't doing shit. I'm like I ain't gonna do shit with that. So it's like I'm gonna just put it over there.
Fair. I'm kind of interested to see how a game would come out for this too.
Oh, it's gonna be really fun. Like they're really want this, especially with season 2 coming out next year for Twist Corpses. They're gonna be adding more to this to the shit. Like the goal is to get this out, and then they're gonna do a rollout for season 2 later on.
My girlfriend would be down with this. I think I just found a new birthday present I can get for her a little late. Maybe make it Christmas.
Hey, there you go. Bro, I just be getting friended by motherfuckers. I don't know. Like, I don't know y'all. Like, I appreciate you reaching out to me, but I don't know you. Like, I'm sorry. We out here, yo, Poncho. What's good, fam? We actually have 10 people in here. We actually probably should get started.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And like, it's just gonna be us two. I didn't find a guest. I was a bum. I thought about grabbing Ryan, but I totally forgot to grab him.
Easy week this week. Had a lot of stuff going on. I don't blame.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. It would probably be like an easy hour show. Plus, we have the bonus episodes that'll be good content. I need to actually before I forget. Let me.
Hell, I just remembered too. My car went out, or my truck went out. I had to get it fixed before going camping. Then on the way to going to pick up my truck, my girlfriend's car's check engine light came on. So we just literally swapped out at mechanics at that time.
Y'all ain't gonna have no money for camping at this rate. Jesus fuck.
Luckily, camping's easy. I have everything. I just need to be able to pay like $40 in gas to get out there and get back, and then we're good. We can have food.
Y'all gotta pay like a fee for the site?
No, we go to BLM land, so it's literally free for us to go camping.
BLM land?
Yeah, it's Bureau of Land Management is what it is. And so,
I thought you said BLM land. I'm like, is that like Black Lives Matter land? Is that some weird is that some weird tap dancing theme park?
I've only been camping for like a year or two, so when like people said that to me, I was like, is this just like land that Black people get to go to? Is that like our whole like thing? Is that what happened? Did they just lie to us in the history books this whole time?
I know, right?
I wish.
Yo, Mal, what's good, fam? All right, let me drop this to old dude. I must say, Daniel, like, B, you're gonna love this interview when it drops, because like straight up, Daniel like did the craziest metaphor when it comes to explaining how diversity works in the industry, and I just kind of sat here like smirking like a dork the whole time, because you can see on screen when he starts to explain it, my lights just go. And like, I understand what he's trying to say, and it's just like, because he started off with, imagine if I was a car dealership and I've been really good at selling sedans this entire time, but then we want to start selling motorcycles and we do a half-ass job about it. And I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing.
God, why does that connect so well? Like, right, instantly, you see everything just plug in right there.
Right, my lights just kind of went, ooh, that's what he means. Oh. All right, so let me go and do the intro real quick. Let me do one more step. What's going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for Comics Unmasked, the podcast where a bunch of folks shoot the breeze and talk about comic books and such. We are back. We are back for you folks. We are back for episode 47. 47. We have 2 episodes coming out this week, so I have 47 and 48. We are here talking about comic books, all the great things about it, all the industry stuff, and the drama that's been going on. But we are going to be diving into it, folks. Don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Well, not Google anymore. Google's gone. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music and Audible, and then Your Mama's Fridge, and I believe iHeartRadio, yes. Then you also can follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Shout out to Tashi. Tashi, our co-host who is not here this week. She has been doing amazing uploading stuff to TikTok. She cut one piece for me calling out folks who didn't believe comic books are political, and that's like over 300 some likes on TikTok. So shout out to her for putting that together. But like just like it has been killing it. We love her for that. We are gonna go ahead and dive into this nonsense. My name is JP. To my left, we have Afro Baggins himself. Man is the only Black man I know who is excited to go camping. B-Rex, how are you?
I am doing great. I got to go camping, and right before I went camping, I was able to go find some temporal at a local comic book shop, all 5 issues, and then literally just go camping and read all 5 issues and listen to Dungeons and Dragons podcast. So,
Nice.
absolutely perfect time. That's how you guys got to touch grass. Trust me, it will make your life happier because when I got back, all hell broke loose on the news, and we have comic book stuff to talk about.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I'm excited.
All right, all right. Let's go ahead and dive into the nonsense. So, first thing up on our docket, we have to talk about the amazing Ms. Marvel herself. Iman Vellani came out in an announcement in collaboration with Tiny Onion, of all people, and said that she is going to be making her comics debut outside of Marvel because she previously co-wrote in a few issues of Ms. Marvel during that transitional period where she died and then she transitioned into being a mutant. So that was a cool thing that she did. But now inspired by her own experience growing up in the entertainment industry, she is now writing a solo writing adventure with Shachu, a 5 issue miniseries from Image and Tiny Onion. The series features art from Mariana Ignazi, and the story reimagines a neo noir private investigator genre through personal and character driven lens, and that's dope. That sounds exciting. I'm super happy that she is diving into this. She was doing a few different interviews talking about this. It focuses like it's like a 1970s story about a young girl growing up in the industry and things of that nature, having to deal with all of that. And that sounds super cool. I'm excited to read this. It's already on my pull list. The minute they announced that, I was like, let's go. It sounds dope. What I found frustrating when I wanted to get B's thoughts on was there was a lot of individuals on social media who were being detractors of this idea and saying that they have a problem with celebrities diving into like comic books period, but also specifically indie comic books, because it's already difficult enough for common folk to dive into comic books and actually be able to do their own thing and enjoy comic books and things of that nature, actually trying to like make their own, promote it, make it, all those different things. So it's in essence taking away resources from the people who genuinely want to be like start their own thing and be in the industry. And I had to kind of tilt my head at that concept because comic books are for everybody. Comic books can be done by everybody. And I just kind of sat there and was like, are you trying to say that like they shouldn't make comic books? Are you trying to say that they shouldn't do this? They shouldn't be interested in making comic books? Like, there's plenty of celebrities who do like co-written comic books. That way they can say their name is on it, but they're not actually comic book fans. But Amon is somebody who genuinely cares about the industry. She genuinely wants to make these stories. She wants to tell these stories. So I'm sitting here like, what is your thought process? Like, what is your logic? I don't understand the thought process of saying that these people can't enjoy things. I remember a few years ago, AJ Lee, when made famous from like WWE, she not only has her own indie comic like company now, but also she has written a few stories for Wonder Woman as part of Black and Gold. I think she did like one other book. I can't remember what it was, but then also her husband, CM Punk, co-wrote a few issues of a Drax miniseries. So it's like a lot of these individuals are doing this because they love the medium, not because they're looking for a cash grab. So I'm sitting here just like, what's the problem?
And that's the thing, is to where like comic books isn't really the media you go into if you're trying to make $1 million, $1 billion or anything like that. Like, you
Right.
might make a good chunk of change here and there and you'll have an easier living than flipping burgers your entire life, but it's not going to
Mhm.
be the best thing in the world. And then secondly, it feels more of just people, in one perspective I can see it as to where some people who are going like, oh, this person has an easier time of jumping into the industry because they're already involved in the industry, and it's making it harder because people are just working within and not really trying to reach out. I can understand that point, but at the end of the day, she's young for one, so it's not like she's been running in this industry for 20, 30, 40 years and has some kind of sway to
Mm,
where she can just step out and say, "Oh, I have a new comic book," and people immediately go, "Yes, let's do whatever this person says," you know? Because I see that
mhm.
happen a lot to where there's a lot of people who can just come up with a new idea and then it immediately gets greenlight because of their name,
Right.
you know? I doubt that happened to her. She really had to prove something behind it, which I think she did. I've seen her work on Miss Marvel. I've read some of the comic work that she did on the Marvel app, and like all of it feels authentic to me. It feels like she came from a place of authenticity from herself, and she never tried to pull from something that she didn't want to bring out that wasn't her, you know?
Mhm.
And then coming from this one, anything detective, I immediately want to pick up. And so I'm excited about that. And especially because the DC White stuff's going on, you could drop a Detective Comics and pick up a Noir Comics, and you're basically getting a pretty better read there. Just have to throw
We
that
yeah,
out.
we definitely gonna talk about that because phase two starts Thursday. Like unless DC decides to make an announcement, phase two starts Tuesday. So unless they're gonna announce a black ongoing before Thursday, so as their opportunity to stop phase two. We've told them multiple times. I've had conversations behind the scenes, and there is no plans to announce anything anytime soon. So phase two's coming, y'all. Matter of fact, I might even tease phase two, but at the end of the show, I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
I
Yeah,
like
but
it.
we might do that. But yeah, but you know, and Pacho said in chat she was a comic fan first. She was hard earned. She got into the industry through a different avenue of us all. She what's different from her coming from a writing to TV, and I definitely agree. And like I remember a few years ago, love Wesley Snipes to death. He teamed up with Whatnot because Whatnot occasionally publishes their own comic books. He teamed up with Whatnot and a couple comic creators to release like a new comic. I have it in my long box. I forget what the fuck it's called, but like it was him trying to like do a different thing than what Blade was, but also kind of like have that sort of same action energy. And I was just like, this feels like a phoned in cash grab. What Amon is doing and what other celebrities coming in have done previously is not. They actually care about what they're doing. So I don't understand. It's weird. Um Hopefully they can figure that out. I don't understand. But to bend over to similar to what Amon has dealt with, Marvel had an announcement earlier this week that had a lot of folks like concerned, let's say the least. Marvel announced that they are going to be shaking up leadership as Brad Winderbaum was going to be taking over the comics division. They announced a major shift because like where this individual not only will be the heading of comics, but he will be the head of Marvel Television, animation, comics, and franchise. Because the previous person had stepped down, or it was either stepped down or moved to a different position. I forget which one it was. And it was a situation of them going, well, there's been so much going on now, and now there's a new shift going on, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, huh. You know, yeah, that's what it was. Dan Buckley had announced that after nearly 30 years of being with the company, he is going to be stepping down after mid 2027 to ensure a smooth transition. That's what the comic was called. Dwayne and Shaq. He said Exile. That was the Wesley Snipes book. But yeah, they announced that Dan Buckley is going to be stepping down. And now this individual who's been in charge of Marvel Television is going to be taking over as the new head of comics, television and animation and franchising. And a lot of people, specifically one name I saw was Mike Choi, the artist. He was very concerned about this. And a lot of people were kind of like even like tagging me and thinking, like asking me what I thought about this. And I was kind of sitting there like, give it 6 months, give it a year, give it like 2 years. Like I would say by the end of 2027 and the beginning of 2028, ask me that question again because it's too early to see what this could lead to. It's too early to see what this could end up meaning. Is there potential that this individual could totally change things? And like Mike Choi was definitely saying online, he was saying that this could be the full corporatization of Marvel to where even the comic readers barely have any control anymore. And if that's the case, that I believe it. I'd be willing to bet on that horse all day, but I want to see what the ramifications are. I want to see what it ends up being because right now it's just an announcement of change, not what is the change going to lead to. And there's been the kind of like statement that I've made previously or recently that it feels as if no one at Marvel is driving the bus. It feels like Marvel is very not having a direction. Like the X-Men are doing their own thing, Spider-Man's doing his own thing, the Avengers are doing their own thing now with this Armageddon stuff. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, what are y'all doing? Like, I miss the days of the like the initiatives, the like whole brand wide initiatives where we had a plan, where there was direction. Like, what happened to that? Like I don't. I think the age of everybody playing in their own sandboxes can't really vibe no more. Y'all need to have a designated plan for what the hell you're doing, and it doesn't feel like anybody's driving the bus at Marvel right now. So this could be a good thing, but it also could be a really bad thing because it might finally be like the end of 616 Marvel, and it could be full brand synergy Marvel as a whole, where it only rolls with the projects and the media, things of that nature. I've started to notice more they're doing like Marvel Rivals comic books, Marvel Tokon comic books to tie into the release of those. And that's nothing new. They've done MCU tie-in comics before, but it's starting to be a reoccurring thing. So this may lead to Marvel just being an IP farm for like different brand projects and different brand synergy things and things of that nature. But time will tell. But I would love to know your thoughts on this.
I gotta play hopium on this one and be
Mm,
like, this guy comes in, he understands what's been going on with Marvel and sees how like things are very just teeter tottering on the edge for some things, and he can just flatten everything out and be like, this is what we need for the TV shows, this is what we need for the movies, this is what we need for the comics. We can have synergy in some things that combine to make things interesting, but overall we can keep things separate. That's kind of what I would hope for, but
mm,
unfortunately, I don't see that happening in the year of 2026, and especially
mm,
whenever it comes down to the bottom line of whatever can make money for a company, it scares me because ultimately the best thing for a company is if they can go, oh, if our one video game comes out and we can make a comic book based on that video game, that saves us more money than having to create a new idea, which really scares me because then we're only going off of like this one combined universe for so long, which could be really good, but then you're leaving a whole lot of stories out and a whole lot of other things that could build this universe to be better. Now, don't get me wrong, a restart to 616 doesn't sound terrible to me, but at the same time, then that's where you get the conversation to where they almost have that DCification of them to where then what are
mm,
you going to do after you do a universe reset versus what Marvel's done to where they're like, we've had mini resets. Everything's still there, but it's still,
mm.
you know,
It's still the
our
same
own
sliding time scale.
exactly versus DC that's like 10 years, 20 years. Okay, now everything's canon. We don't know what's going on. Like that's where I'm almost afraid Marvel's going to be heading because they're almost getting a little too big for their britches, it feels like.
Mhm. And like Matt OG said in the chat, like we've seen them do like tie-in comics for like the Spider-Man video games and things of that nature. They called it the game verse. So it's like they're not too far off from what they've already started to do when it comes to brand synergy. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like this may be the age of brand synergy when it comes to this. We'll stop seeing the evolution of Marvel as a product, and it will be just everything is brand synergy in the main universe as well. But I have to agree, hopium is the goal because I would hate the idea that we're only trying to create product rather than creating good material to read rather like it's only supposed to be media nonsense because like I'm totally okay with say like how Marvel Rivals had the Queen in Black storyline bleed into the comics recently, or the Malice thing bleed into the Fantastic Four recently. But I don't want it to be just all brand synergy all the time. I want there to be Marvel being able to still exist as its own product, if that makes sense. But we will definitely have to take a look at that as time goes on. You like even Mouse said he's like I would hate that. Okay. This is going to be the giant crux of the main show. We might look at the solicitations, and I might even take some listener questions while we chilling. But so if you have listen, well, while we talk about the main topic, if you have listener questions, if you are in chat and want to drop listener questions in the chat, definitely drop those. I will get I will get to those as we after we talk about the main topic. But this is going to be the main thing that we do here, real quick. So Let me put this frustration on my screen because, dear God, how do I put this lightly without coming off disrespectful? Because not Marvel, DC decided to play in our faces this week, folks. DC decided to play in our faces this week because we got the announcement that Virgil Hawkins, Static, is joining the Titans, not the Teen Titans, the Titans, the new Titans book written by Tay Bromwell with art by Sammy Basri. This is the big announcement that was put out this week right before the solicitations, and oh boy, how do I put this? You know what, B? I'm not gonna say a word. I want to know, B. I want to know what you think before I go off, because we might be here for a minute if I go off. So I want to know this announcement. We got the announcement that there's going to be a whole. I'll do the intro first part of it because, well, like ahead of the whole thing. We are going to be having this whole thing where what did they even include the whole thing? Yeah, as tensions rise, the new team Static finds himself stepping into a volatile situation where the Titans are already being pushed to their limits. DC describes Virgil as a key figure in the storyline, with the arrival propelling him to the team into one of the toughest challenges yet. Kicks off as Static crosses paths with John Kent at Mount Titans, just as the emissary from Wonder Girl's tribe arrives with troubling news from the Amazon rainforest of Brazil. Yaraflor is called into action as the Titans prep for a dangerous mission tied to growing threat in the region. B, what are your thoughts?
The only thing that I can think of is the DC So White campaign is working. Because if they actually had a plan to bring Static back, they would have done it in the next Titans after they had introduced him in the previous one that we had during February, is when I think it came out. And then the next issue, the next month, would have had Static in there. And it didn't. They dropped it. They were hoping that we got our here's your black family for February, and congratulations, you guys can go off and we'll see you next February. And because we came out with that DC So White campaign, we are actually finally getting Static in the Titans book like we were originally going to get it. Now, that being said, thank you, DC, for the scraps, because I appreciate it, but you didn't listen to the DC So White campaign, because I thought we talked about having an ongoing, not here you go, we're gonna do another tie-in series and throw another black character in there, because we have the Green Lantern Corps and we're dropping that series. It's a good series, but we're dropping that series because it's not following what we've been asking for. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see Static. I'm the first person, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, we're getting Static. This is great. And then I saw that it was part of the Titans, and then it kind of just fell to the wayside for me, because it's like, now I got to kind of either pick up all the Titans book and figure out what's been going on there so I can see what's the come up for this. And then is this really going to have a tie-in that's going to be reasonable to bring Static into this, which, judging by the solicitations, it could be, but I can't make any guarantees. It doesn't get me excited for it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It feels kind of like a here, have a cracker, have a quick cracker to shut you up real quickly. I have a 4-year-old nephew. I know how this goes. He was whining about wanting some food and we're on a trip. Here, have a cracker, just be quiet. Like,
B, I'm glad you said that, because the way somebody described this in my comments is this genuinely feels like the here nigga damn book. Like it feels like here have this. Shut up, take it. Like stop bitching. Like, this is what this feels like. And it's very obvious, and B kind of hit the nail on the head very well, because it's very obvious this was not the plan. It's very obvious that this was not the plan. You know how I can tell that this was not the plan for the first Virgil to join this team? We don't even know who this is. We don't even know who this random girl in the green sweater and the pink bow. We don't even know who this is. This is a brand new character that is being announced during July, I believe June or July. And she's being brought onto the team. I think, from what I think, she has she should be robotic or something, because she has robotic pieces in her face, but I don't know. But we don't even know who she is yet. The team so far is John, Kent, Superman, Batgirl, Stephanie Brown, Tara, Yara Flor, Wonder Girl, and Red Devil. That's the team so far. and then they have Cyborg and Nightwing running things. But then, like, they recently kicked out Donna, Roy, Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire. They're gone. But this is the new lineup. So you can very much tell this was not the plan. And Tate Bromble and Sammy Basri had a whole different plan for how this book was going to go. And then because of the success with the Dakota incident, then they were like, hey, we're gonna like scoop this man on in here. You're gonna have to just deal with this. We're gonna just like, hey, move over. We're gonna put him right here. Just go with it. So that's how you can tell this is very much not part of the plan. And like, there's something that I didn't say in my video was this. I do find this to be cool because this is the first time in 15 years Static has been on the Titans, because he used to be on the Teen Titans led by Cassie Sandsmark Wonder Girl. And then he had a small cameo in, I believe, issue 6 of Teen Titans New 52. But other than that, he has never had any interactions with the Titans besides that. So that was cool to see. But I find this to be like B said, it feels like this is a little bit of crumbs to shut some people up, like myself, like Ernie, like Mirax, like so many individuals who have pledged to be a part of the DC So White campaign. This is what this feels like. And I'm sitting here shaking my head because this is not what we asked for. This is not what anybody asked for. This is not like I played the Kendrick line. It's not enough. It's like this doesn't stop the clock. It's still, well, let me boot up DCSoWhite.com. It's 1,195 days as of the live stream recording of this episode. 1,195 days since we had a solo ongoing for a Black character. And you can tell they're trying, or at least Marquise Draper, the associate editor, is trying, because he's trying to get us something. But like, DC could have been fixed this. DC could have been did something about this. And it would be so easy for them to just come out and be like, hey, give us 6 months. Here's a book. Here's a cover. Here's a cover.
Here's a
So,
teaser. Here's
like,
something, you know? Like, that's the thing is, like, we talk about how slow things move in this system, but then yet I can look over into Tennessee and see something switch that quick overnight whenever a ruling is made. So I know in our capitalistic system, when it comes to those higher ups that are up there, all they need to do is snap a finger and something happens. And
right.
we just need to get loud enough and their fingers will snap instantly.
And it's really frustrating. And like, Cameron said something pretty solid in the chat where she's like, bring back Tanya Spears. We haven't seen Tanya Spears Power Girl since, like, I think Future State. Like, we haven't seen her in anything since like Future State Shazam. And I'm like, what happened to her? Like, why couldn't she be on this team? What's up with this random new girl? Like, why is it like it just?
And that's the other thing about the Titans too, is to where, like, that was the point of Beast Boy and Raven and Cyborg being on the Titans, is to help you introduce these newer characters or these people who are unknown to the bigger zeitgeist, you know? So I feel like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing new characters, but to just bring a new character in on the Titans feels kind of like it's a disservice to all the other characters that are out there that could be like your Bumblebees and be like your other characters that are kind of well known but could be more well known. Hell, Amethyst would even work on the Titans at that point, you know? Like, it makes more sense to put those characters in that place.
And I'm just sitting here like, I think the thing that even bothers me more so is Static is supposed to be the Spider-Man of the DC universe. If you put him back in the DC canon, he's supposed to be the teenage standout character that doesn't need a mentor. Like, he's had mentors. He's had Black Lightning, all Young Justice. He's interacted with John Stewart, but he doesn't need a mentor. He is just the iconic young superhero that can put energy out there. And like, and back on G said in the chat, he's like, can't have too many Black characters, because the minute you have too many, it just becomes a Black book. And it's like, well, we officially have 2 Black people on the Titans, because you have Cyborg and Static. It's kind of funny, but it's like, I'm sitting here like Virgil is supposed to be this adult, like young adult hero. He's supposed to be your Spider-Man, your like kid, like superhero that anyone can look up to. And am I excited to see him grow up and be college age? Most definitely. But I'm sitting here just like, he don't need these people. He don't need them. Like Red Devil needs them because I ain't seen Red Devil in years. Tara needs them. Stephanie Brown could use them because they using her in the Batman books and all. These are the characters that you include on Titans where they don't have a place to go, and it's like you're essentially saying that Virgil is not good enough for his own book by putting him on this team. Like that's what it feels like, especially with all the stuff going on with DC So White. It feels like a quick fix and very much like the here nigga damn book shut up. Like it feels very much like like B was saying. It feels like the here have a cookie. Are you happy? Will you shut up? Will you stop bitching? Like that's what this feels like. And what really frustrates me, it's already drawing division and there's been a lot of people who have been supporting the movement. There's been a lot of people who are excited. We had a live stream on last Monday, where we had sat down and started prepping people for phase 2 because some people weren't really like excited or even intrigued about the idea of phase 2 because phase 2 is very complicated. But how do I say this? This is going to make things worse. This is going to make things worse where so many individuals are not going to want to be a part of phase 2 because they are going to believe that if they support this book, it's going to get them a static book. And here's my plea to the fans, but also to DC. How the hell do you know that if you support this Titan series, that gives you a static book? I could be a fan of just the Titans, which I am. I'm actually pulling this series right now. It's sitting behind me on my desk. I have to bag and board it still. Like it's right back there. I could be a fan of Stephanie Brown, which I am. I could be a fan of Tara. I could be a fan of Cyborg or Nightwing or Jonathan Kent Superman. I could be a fan of Yara Flor. I could just be a fan of Nightwing's ass. Literally, I could be reading this book just to see Nightwing's ass. Why on God's green earth are you going to look at the like? Are you going to be like, ooh, there was a jump at this issue? That means people want a static book. Let's get a static book into production. What if a bunch of people are just excited for Nightwing's ass? That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just sitting here like, this is false. This is false hope. This is false nonsense. You cannot give people this kind of hope because you could I could easily say that a bunch of people buying this book means that if we buy this book, that means they're going to give Stephanie Brown an ongoing. They're going to cancel Cassandra Cain and give Stephanie Brown an ongoing. I could be excited and say, oh, if we buy Titans, that gives me a Red Devil ongoing. Like, do you see how that doesn't make any sense? Like, I feel like that one clip of like Justin Bieber in the dark outside his house. You're not getting it. You're not getting like
See, but that's the like exact thing, because I get that there's going to be people who are afraid about comic collecting. That is one of the reasons why I got into comic books, is to collect the comic book characters that I enjoy. That's why I'm going and getting the back issues of the Milestone universe. But hey, that's the cool thing about this whole thing on phase 2 is you can go and get your back issues. These issues are going to be there. Yeah, I may have to spend $6 instead of $4 or whatever it comes out to be, and when it comes to shipping and all that other jazz, you know? But at the end of the day, you're not going to get what you truly want when they hand you a scrap and you say thank you. You know, like it's not going to click that way. You know,
right.
I wish it would. I really wish it would, but I'm not going to get my Black Lightning. I'm not going to get my Vixen. I'm not going to get my Steel books by just saying, oh, hey, we have static now, you know, because like you said, there are 7 other people that look like they're on that team. I'm also a Tara fan. As much as I hate her, I'm also a fan of her. I would love to see a solo series from her. If that means buying this book, that's what it would be. But hey, DC hasn't said that's how this works. Because if DC would let us know how any of this stuff works, then we could talk about supporting it and how we would work it and how we could do things about it. But DC doesn't.
Yeah. And someone asked in chat, what about Jackson Hyde Aquaman? And the thing about him is that he is Aquaman, but he's just a background player in the Emperor Aquaman book. And funnily enough, it feeds back into the whole y'all don't support y'all don't support black books. They said, oh, well, y'all didn't support Aquaman the Becoming and you didn't support Aquaman. So we didn't continue with that push to make Jackson Hyde Aquaman. But hey, DC. Hey, DC. did you know there was a pandemic going on during that time period? Did you know that there was a whole diamond filing for bankruptcy? So some people didn't get their books around that time. So people weren't able to support Aquaman the Becoming. Like that's what kills me is that now we're in the situation where even Jackson Hyde is in the background of the Aquaman book. He's not even Aquaman. And it even frustrates me even more because they just gave Arthur Curry an upgrade to where he's the avatar of the blue, and they called him the Dark Tide as part of the prophecy. And I'm like, huh, the Dark Tide. Couldn't you have it might have came off so racist to some people, but wouldn't that have been cool to give Jackson that name or Jackson that title? And like it could have been a really good introspection of the idea of a black Aquaman being considered the harbinger of doom while also being made the avatar of the blue. Like that would have been a great story, but you didn't do it. You were afraid to. You didn't want to pull that trigger. And now we're in a situation where they done took away Mara's powers and gave him to Arthur and gave him a power up when Jackson already had those abilities. Jackson could have been that character that was the next generation better Aquaman, but y'all didn't want to do that. So
See,
it's
this
just
is another
frustrating.
issue that we talk about constantly every week, and it's talking about pushing the like continuity forward a little bit. Like this is what we mean about pushing that forward. You're just literally being like, here's a new character. Everybody's gonna love this character. People really enjoy this character. Give this character time to grow. Nah, let's take this character's abilities and then put them on the OG so that way the OG becomes the next all-time Superman powered character, and we need to continue this main character. I love having my Superman, don't get me wrong, but there needs to be movement forward. That's why we have Superboy. This is why we had Supergirl. There needs to be some more like bigger families would be nice. I would like to see some cousins at this point, you know? Like at this point, I'm
Man.
pretty sure the family's grown, right?
And you know what bothered me the most about this announcement? This cover, I forget who did the art for this cover. I don't know if it says.
Why
I
is
might
that
have to.
so clean? You guys can't put such a clean
I,
cover like that.
I think it was Lucas Meyer who did this cover, or it was oh no, it was Dyke Ruan. It was Dyke Ruan. This cover looks like a #1 variant cover. This does not look
Mm-hmm.
like a
Mm-hmm.
cover that should be just a variant cover for a Titans book. So I'm sitting here, sitting here, like, what are you doing? What are
If I
you
was
doing?
just an everyday nerd going into the comic book shop, I would think that's a static #1. I would straight up think that's a static #1. I would pick it up thinking like, oh, they listened to the DC So White campaign that I like looked online for 2 seconds and then went off and lived my life. They listened to him. They did a static book, and then I'd pick it up and read that it's a Teen Titans and be disappointed.
And it frustrates me because like there were so many individuals that were eating this up. They were eating these crumbs up. They were eating these crumbs up on TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter. They were like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever." Like, we're getting more, so we're getting static. Everybody go pre-order this book. I even had a comic shop reply to me on Threads and said, "You better pre-order it." And I replied with, "Nah." I was like,
The
"Nah."
sad part is it was already on your pool. It was already on your pool before the whole DC So White stuff, and that
I,
wasn't affected anything.
Man, hold on. I'm about to be real. I'm about to be real ignorant. I'm about to be real ignorant. Look at my League of Comic Geeks. I pulled Nectar and the last issue of this book this week. This is this past week's pull. I just pulled this book because I have been a Titans fan since I started reading comic books back in 03. I have been 2000, and then I started collecting in 03. I've been reading this shit since Jump. This has been what I've done since Jump. So with the fact that I was already on this bitch and now I have to drop this shit because of phase 2, it pisses me off. And it's frustrating that we have to, you know what? Since everybody is here and like phase 2 is Thursday, let's have a conversation, folks. Let's have a conversation. Let me flip my screen back and let's dig into this real quick. So, let me. Oh, wait, we don't want that. Let me pull the presentation. So, since some folks are, I might cut this like, but this will be a live exclusive. Thursday, May 28th is day 1200 of us not having a black ongoing at DC Comics in the mainline continuity. Starting on May 28th, we are going to be asking fans to go into their local comic book shop and remove all DC comics from their pull list until DC finally announces the release of a black ongoing title in their main continuity. That is phase 2, is hashtag DC Blackout. DC Blackout starts May 28th. We are tired of DC treating us like this. We are tired of the narrative of people saying that black books don't sell. We are tired of the racism. We are tired of the nonsense. We are tired of people saying that DC is a large, super white company. They're not going to care about black characters. Change needs to happen. We have been told by multiple individuals to keep our foot on their neck. And that's what we are doing. We are going to step up and say, because for the longest time, me and several other individuals have just been buying black books or characters with black books in them. Like, we haven't been buying the absolute Batmans, the absolute Supermans, whatever. My pull list has been black characters, teams with black characters on them, and that's it. I ain't been doing nothing else. But now we are asking everybody to hop on the trend now and remove all DC from their pull list because enough is enough. DC Blackout is going to be a press release that is sent to all major publications. It is going to be an official press release where people are going to know. We have given people plenty of time to stop playing in our faces. All they had to do, like B said, is put out a press release with a cover and say something. They announced Jonah Hex last year. Jonah Hex hasn't even been solicited yet. They could easily announce a Vixen book, a Mr. Terrific book, a Black Lightning book, a Steel book, and the 1200 days. The counter will still go. And like someone actually asked me this, does the boycott and the day counter stop when they announce a book? No. Well, yeah, halfway. The boycott will end once they solicit the book and we can go into comic book stores and pre-order it. But the day counter will still go into the day it's published. And then there will be retrospectives about how we got here. But phase 2 is officially going to be a boycott because we are tired of the nonsense. We are tired of feeding you this. You could have a Marilyn Moonlight book. You could have a, like, hell, I'll even put this up because this was something that someone posted on Twitter before the show. Somebody had put out that apparently John Layman, the previous writer of Titans, had a plan to introduce Mal and Karen Duncan onto a new team of Titans, but then they decided to introduce Tate Bromble and Sammy Basri as the new writers of the book. I haven't verified this, but if this is the case, that means this is another two black characters that got shafted. Even though this year, 2026, is their 50th anniversary. Mal and Karen Duncan came out in 1976 on the Teen Titans book. And now they don't mean anything. So it's like, I'm sitting here confused. I'm sitting here bewildered. I'm sitting here befuddled because I can't for the life of me understand why this is the case. Why is it? And some people are like, well, how long do you think it takes to make a comic book? Why are you giving them so much grief? And it's like, because y'all could announce something. Y'all could stop us from doing. I even said on Twitter, I was like, you could stop the boycott if you just announce something and make it to where we can go pre-order at the local comic book shop. And then we would just keep the campaign going and raise awareness and move to phase 3, which phase 3 is going to be, now we have to mobilize and go pre-order this book before FOC. Because that way we get we do a highest print possible orders for this book. So the fact that these two characters have gotten the shaft, and then because of the success of the Dakota incident, they rolled out Virgil. It gives them plausible deniability to say, what do you mean? We love black people. We put static on the book. Don't you understand? We still don't. You got what you wanted. You see the Virgil right here. Here's your black character, right? There's 2 black characters here. There's 2 tokens on the team now. What do you think, guys? Like, that's what this looks like. Like, that's what this looks like to me, is that you put 2 black characters on a book, and I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? So that is phase 2. And I think I'm going to leave this in because like a lot of people, like, we're only like 50 some people who listen to the podcast audio version. So like y'all are here, y'all get the exclusive, but that'll be going out on Thursday. And I'm sitting here frustrated. I'm sitting here confused, and I don't understand why they're doing this. Be your thoughts.
Uh, I'm ready to jump onto it. It's gonna save me some money at the end of the day because I'm a DC fanboy all out. Like 90% of my pull list has been DC every single week. If you guys go look on my TikTok, that's just how it is, you know? But at the end of the day, even somebody who loves DC knows when I'm getting slapped in the face and I have to make a decision on whether or not I want to support this company, which it's amazing to me that I can even switch over to Marvel and immediately go, oh, here's a Miles Morales, here's a Bishop, here's a Storm at least, which I'm not trying to praise Marvel, but at least they're giving me something at the end of the day. But even better, I can turn around and go to Independence and get Roots of Madness and get Temporal and get Scion and all of these other really great black stories that we've been pushing for the past few months now that have been amazing. But even then, go into Independence or reach even further. You guys have got your Digger. You guys have Diablo. You guys have Berserk. You guys have a new one that's coming out this week, which I would like to highlight for people, called The Life and Death of Lucas the Dreamwalker. If you guys are interested in different stories that DC is pretty good at telling, you can find that in Independence easy. We have Something Killing the Children. We've got the Exquisite Corpses and all that other jazz. Like, there's good stuff out there that's away from DC, and DC just kind of, I don't want to say has a chokehold, but really built up everything from Absolute Batman and stuff like that. And people need to be able to see you can go elsewhere for better stories, even for better stories, even.
I'm gonna put you and the whole chat on game real quick. So I already hinted at it earlier, but episode 48, which is going to be released in tandem with this episode, is an interview with the director of sales from Ignition Press, Daniel Crary. He is amazing, and he told me they'd already dropped the exclusive with Comics Beat earlier this week, but he also like announced on my show that they are bringing out a brand new comic book called Prima Apparata, which he described this as Pacific Rim meets Black Swan, where ballerinas are trained to pilot giant mechs to fight aliens. And this book looks fucking insane. Like, this is what I be trying to tell people when people want to come to me and say, oh, I need to buy DC. Like on Monday, we had a live stream on TikTok where I sat there and tried to explain to people what phase 2 was, how you didn't need to buy DC no more with this, that you could focus on what's going on. And so many individuals were like, but I want to support Stephanie Williams with her Wonder Woman. I want to support Morgan Hampton and Jamal Campbell. And I'm like, look, you can go buy, and B's pointing to it, you can go buy Temporal. You can go buy Roots of Madness from Ignition Press. So if you want to support Stephanie, I can't really say you can support Jamal and Morgan elsewhere because they haven't done other work outside of DC that is recent. So like that kind of sucks. But there are other ways to support Black creators. There are other Black comic creators that you could be supporting right now. Heck, I just dropped the episode last night that I actually did make a post about. Scion #2 from Mark Bandy and Shay. They just this is a Kickstarter right now that they just doubled what they were going to, like what their goal was. Where you can go on Kickstarter right now and support their book. You can go on Kickstarter and support this book where you can, like they were even able to get a variant cover by Nicholas Draper Ivy for this book. You are able to go support people who are making brand new content that actually gives you what you want. And this is literally what you can get right here. So genuinely, you can get what you need without supporting DC because DC is playing in your face. You don't need to waste your money on DC because DC doesn't care. DC obviously doesn't care. They're not going to support you. They think you're only good enough to be on a team. That is the message DC is sending right now. That is like DC. Like, I'm not going to say DC doesn't care. I'm going to recant. I'm going to retract that. DC is showing you that they don't care. DC is showing with their actions by only putting Mr. Terrific on the league, by only putting Black Lightning on the league, by only putting Vixen on the league, by only putting Virgil and Cyborg on the Titans. They're showing you with their actions that they don't care about your dollar, that you are not worthy enough to have your own solo ongoing. And that is pitiful. That is pitiful. And we are going to say no. We are going to take our money elsewhere until you decide to get your shit together, is what we are telling DC. So we are like, that's what phase 2 is going to be, is we are going to, and some people were like, what about Virgil? Don't you want to support Virgil? It's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Because
I would love to support Virgil, only if he gets his own solo series. And I'm actually going to have something that matters throughout something, and I get to actually see Virgil grow up and not just be like, here's Virgil on a team and he's going to stay as a 21-year-old for the rest of eternity if that's what they decide to make him. No, I want to see Virgil grow up. I got to see future Batman state at this point with Virgil in there, or not future Batman state, the Batman Beyond with Virgil in there. So you guys have the capability of writing a really good adult static story and make him canon main line, but not just static. That's the other thing. Don't just lay back on your milestone stuff. You guys have too many good black characters out there. And so just to give us static as a quick, like, oh, here's our version of Miles Morales out there for you, it almost feels like. Here's the guy that became popular before Miles, but now we're trying to run up the game with him again. No, you do it right. Don't give us scraps. We need the right thing at this point. Like, that's the most frustrating part for me. I would love to support my Virgil, but you guys aren't giving me stuff to support Virgil. I'm supporting the Titans if I go and buy this book.
I feel like I feel bad that I had to make that joke where I'm like, look, I could just be someone who's really into Nightwing's ass. I don't have to be somebody that wants to read Static. And like, hypothetical, what if we support these 2 issues of Static or Titans that he's going to be a part of, and then he just becomes a side character? He just becomes just a member of the team. They don't focus on him. He's just there. What if he's not a focal point? And here's the thing: I trust, and I'm gonna say this live on air. I trust Tate Bromble to give a fuck about Static. You wanna know how? I have a tattoo because of Tate Bromble and James Tynion IV. That this blade on my arm is from a character in House of Slaughter, where the main character of that book, for that entire arc, Jay's Butcher, this is his blade, where he is a queer black character who had to watch as his entire family was just like taken out, and then he was forced to go join the white man's killing society. So trust me, I've seen Tate Bromble genuinely make some of the blackest, gayest shit in comic books. I can trust him to actually put Virgil to work. But what if they don't have the opportunity? What if they don't have the opportunity to focus on him? Excuse me. They have to focus on this brand new character that we still don't even know her name yet. They have to give shine to Yara Flor and Jonathan Kent and Red Devil and Stephanie Brown and Tara. This is still early stages of Tara being a good person for the first time in God knows how long. Like, that was the whole arc of John Layman's thing, was bringing Tara back and trying to make her good for the first time in 20, 30 years. So that's a main dynamic of the book. And then we have this whole thing with Cyborg being split into 2 people. So it's like, there's so much going on. How are you going to be able to focus on Virgil? I have faith in Tate more than most other writers, but I have frustrations with this idea that all you had to do was announce a writer, an artist, and give me a cover and say, give us 6 months. And you couldn't do that. And here's the thing too. There's 4 more months that they can solicit books in 2026. We have September, October, November, and December. So in the next 4 months, they don't announce anything because we'll have June will be September's solicits, July will be October's, August will be November's, September's will be December's. They have all that time to solicit a black ongoing, or we will be boycotting the rest of the year. Sorry, like that's just gonna be the way it is, because you are showing with your actions that you don't care about black characters. You only view us as team members rather than being our own solo characters. That's just where I'm at with that. Chat, does anyone have any listener questions that they want to throw in before we sign off? Because that is very much where I'm gonna leave that sneak preview. I wasn't even supposed to do it, but I was like, you know what? People are asking about phase 2 in the chat. I'll drop a nugget. They'll drop an announcement on the Juneteenth. Do you know how mad I would be? And I even said that. I even beat took off his glasses.
They would. They would though.
Bro, could you imagine if they announced the next Black, like that they announced, like say December. They announced the first Black ongoing in God knows how many days. In February, like December, they announced it's going to be on February, and the first Black book in God knows how long comes out in Black History Month. Do you know how hot I would be? That would be oh, that would be
There's the
diabolical.
thing is like that would just give me the scare that I'm not gonna get it next month because it would feel like they're just gonna do a rug pull on me and be like, all right, here you go. It's February again. Here's your Black books. And then I'm gonna be like, all right, this is an ongoing, right? They're gonna be like, yeah, it definitely is. And then all of a sudden next month I'm gonna hear, oh, sorry, the steel book was canceled. Didn't get enough buys during Black History Month when we just decided to throw it out again. Like that's how it's gonna feel to me. It's gonna feel like a rug pull, just a different way.
And it's frustrating because someone was even like, well, hey, look at the solicitations. They put Steel in the upcoming War with Zod crossover. Yeah, they put Connor Kent too. What's the point? Like
I appreciate the scraps again.
like it's just it's so frustrating, and it's just like that they're showing with their actions that they only view us as team members, not solo heroes, and it drives me bananas. But say that's where I'm gonna leave that. Like, I think that's gonna be the title of the episode. Here's your scraps. That is literally gonna be the week. Here's your scraps, bro.
I can accept that. And there's the other thing. We got She Spawn too. Like I'm so happy you introduced me into the Spawn universe for one, because now I'm like tapping into like She Spawn, and then I'm seeing all these other ones. And we've got King Spawn, we've got regular Spawn, and I'm like, see, there's so many other universes that are so good. If you like The Boys and Invincible, pick up Spawn. Like, just there's other stories that are out there that are just as good as what DC and Marvel's been giving us. Sometimes better.
Like, and that was the thing too. Like, some people on the live stream on Monday were telling me, well, what am I gonna read if I don't read Absolute Batman? I got you, fam. So Exquisite Corpses ends this week, but season 2 is coming, and they have multiple different one-shots that are coming up soon. Corpse Night #2 just came out, and the reprint of #1 comes out the same day. Escape #7 just came out from Image. King Spawn, Hyde Street, Void Rivals if you're a Transformers fan, Capes if you like there's another good superhero book. Feral is coming out, Scorch, which is tied into the Spawn universe. Red Roots #2 and the reprint comes out next week. Like, there's so many. Lost Fantasy comes out. There's so many indie books that you can go read, and I'm not even talking about Marvel. There's Marvel shit that you can go read, because we're not even having smoke for Marvel right now. There's so many books that you can go read elsewhere. Hornsby and Halo. Is Ted okay coming from Mad Cave? There's so you can go read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures for all I care. You can go read anything else, and I don't give a fuck. So trust me, there is other stuff that you could go read. IDW is making a comic book about The Quiet Place. Do you see that shit? They're making a comic book about A Quiet Place. So there's so much.
I saw that they had a supernatural one, like the Sam and Dean thing and everything like that. Like
that was last week.
Stories for everything out there. Odin too. That one Comics Geek's been pushing in my face.
You know, like they have the Dynamite has a whole, like, if you're a Supernatural fan, you can go read a new version of Sam and Dean doing goofy supernatural nonsense. So there's so much. Is 4 or 5 issues normal if you're creating a comic book? I would say try to stretch for 5 or 6. I would say 5 or 6. Hell, like, you could do what Scion's doing and just release 1 issue at a time. Make sure you can fund each issue. That's what I would do, especially if you're starting off. But like there's just so much stuff, fam. Like, so I don't want nobody to come at me and tell me you can't support indie titles and stop giving DC your money. You can stop giving DC your money for 6 months. If you want to send a message with us, you can like hell. There's a new Buffy and Angel. Kelly Thompson, the woman who's writing Absolute Wonder Woman, has a new Buffy and Angel comic, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel series, coming out with Dynamite, because Dynamite got the license to Buffy. Granted, it kind of makes the Boom long running Buffy books not canon, but there's a brand new Buffy the Vampire Slayer comic coming out from Dynamite that you can go pre-order right now at your local comic book shop. And
it comes out in July. Thompson fan. I just dropped Wonder Woman. That is definitely going to be something I'm picking up.
Mm-hmm. So you don't need to give DC your money. You can go give Kelly Thompson money elsewhere if you want to support her. You can go give James Tynan like if you're sad that you'd have to drop Vertigo, you can go give James Tynan money over at Image and Boom. You don't have to give them motherfuckers your money. So stop accepting scraps. That is the end of the discussion. If anyone has a problem with that, you can come see me. We'll probably do another live stream on Thursday to to talk about everything. But that is going to be the wrap up for us. And the only book I'm pulling this coming week is going to be Exquisite Corpses number 13. Next week, we will be having issue 49 of the podcast is going to be us talking about the entirety of the run of Exquisite Corpses all the way up to issue 13. We will cover any news very briefly before we dive into the entire run and talk about our thoughts and whatnot. But that will be the culmination of next week is talking about Exquisite Corpses. So that will be that. But that's the only book I'm pulling next week. B, are you pulling anything this week?
Only one that I got is the Berserker one, the Keanu Reeves story and stuff like that. I'm a fan of him since I watched The Matrix, and Keanu Reeves seems like he's a cool guy to me. So come onto the podcast and talk about Berserker. That'd be fun. But that's basically all I got.
All right, folks. We are going. What do you want to leave these people with?
In this crazy world, I know that we talk about change, and when it comes to a change in life, there's going to be a change in thoughts and ideas and the way that you look about things. It's going to be scary, it's going to be terrifying, but seeing these changes come about, you know that means something good is going to be on the horizon at some point. I am on that hopium at all times because I've got to be. You got to have some sense of hope to keep moving along in this world, and comic books give you that hope. Just because you're having your king of hope, which is Superman, being taken away, doesn't mean you can't find it elsewhere, because there are so many other people who have created very hopeful characters. And I've been reading Temporal, that gives me hope. Roots of Madness gives me fear. So you guys can find your aspect on anything out there. You just got to look for it.
All right. I think I've said enough this episode. We deserve better than scraps. That's where I'm gonna leave that, folks. We deserve better than scraps. And I just want the industry to be better. We will catch y'all next week for issue 49 of Comics Unmasked. Peace out.